Today I am in downtown Mesa and I'm going to do a little urban sketching, and I'm just trying to decide what angle I'm going to draw from. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening and the clouds are making it look pretty cool. I think I might do a drawing in sepia, but I'm still not even sure. Okay, so I just felt a raindrop, so time to call it, do the rest at home. You can see what I got here. Definitely did a lot, so I'm happy about that. All right, I'm back home and I'm going to finish this up. So I'll tell you what I had with me because I didn't really get to talk about that much while I was there. So I did actually end up doing all of my sketching in the sepia. I have a brush pen and a fine point. So it's the dark sepia color of the Pitt pens. And then I got this set just today, actually, came in the mail. I think they're phasing this one out. They kind of seem to be like switching all of their sets out. So they're still making all the same color pens as far as I know. They're just changing around the different color sets they have available. So this is the basic set, and it's got just the typical, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, which I didn't actually have any of these colors, which is kind of funny. So I finally have that purple that I was complaining about before. So I think these will all be really useful, and actually these particular colors I think will be very useful for urban sketching because you have a lot of bright primary colors in those situations, and that's part of the reason I didn't need it before. So that was useful today. So when I was working, I filled in like the pops of color that were there as I was going so that I wouldn't lose them when I came home. The rest of this is really kind of like shades of gray in real life and brown. So I'm actually just going to do all of that in the corresponding watercolor color that I have for my sepia pen, which was the Daniel Smith Raw Umber, which is the second one. Went with the dark sepia in the Pitt pens the best. I wish that the Pitt pens published their pigment information somewhere because it would make it a lot easier to figure these out, because actually the sepia color in Daniel Smith didn't really go with it. So you don't really know until you try, I guess. I'm done with this one. I had a lot of fun drawing all the lines in this. It was like doing a line doodle, Really enjoyed doing this part. I know it looks probably tedious, but I had fun with it. So yeah, I find it kind of interesting to do the sepia with a few color pops. Haven't decided if I like that or not, but I think it actually works pretty well here, because there were a few spots in there that just would have been really boring if they weren't a color pop, so I don't know. But that was a fun one to draw, that's for sure. Definitely like a cool composition. I really like this tree. Today I am at Usery Mountain Regional Park, and it is chilly and windy, and it rained last night. Looks like it could rain again. So this is a good day for a dramatic picture, I think. And I've got some toned paper with me, and I'm trying to decide what color to use. So I've got tan, and I've got black, and I've got a gray, and I've got a blue. The blue's kind of like that color. I kind of think I might go with the gray. This feels like a gray day. I'm going to use oil pastel. Okay. It is starting to get very windy out here, and my stuff keeps trying to blow away. So I am done. I'm gonna go home. So that's the view. That's the picture. I had a lot of fun working on this paper. I will talk about it more when I get home. All right, I'm back home, and I'm out of the wind, and I'm away from all the people and everything, so I can finally talk about what's going on here. So I'm using the gray toned Strathmore mixed media paper for this. It's a 9x12, and I'm using my same SOHO extra soft oil pastel set that I used for a different painting last week. And then I have my silicone nail art tools that I've been using for blending. So now that I'm home with this, and I'm in a little bit more regular light, and I'm out of the wind and everything, I can finally kind of look at some things and see what I need to do to it. So I'm seeing here that there's not enough contrast between the saguaro and the mountain in the background. I think that probably the saguaro needs to be a little bit brighter in some places, and that background might need to be just a little darker in a couple places. I'm also noticing that I didn't get time to finish blending these clouds all the way down to this edge. So you see how there's like this light edge on the mountain that's not really supposed to be there. That's supposed to be the clouds going up to that. So I'm going to fix that. And I'm going to fix some edges. I'm going to decide where I want the edges blended and where I want them to remain rough. So I want the roughness to be an intentional choice and not just like I left it by accident. There's also some places out here where I see that need highlights, like that Ocotillo needs highlighting, and those saguaros might need just a little bit of highlight also, and same with this Palo Verde, is still not quite contrasted enough from the background. And then also there's not quite enough shadow happening back here either. So just some like details. I actually kind of like the mountain the way they are though, so I'm probably going to leave those alone aside from fixing those clouds. And I might add just a little bit more contrast to the clouds, but for the most part I consider them done. I kind of spent a long time on those. So the other thing here is that the saguaro wasn't originally in here in the beginning of my drawing. Then later I decided to add it in, so I literally just drew over everything else. So you can even kind of tell where you can see the background through it, and I kind of liked that part of it, actually. I think it kind of blends it all together nicely, but it kind of made me think of like Bob Ross, where he always like adds a tree in the foreground. I'm adding a saguaro, so there you go. Yeah. And I'm also, this foreground probably needs a little bit more something in here. I don't know what yet. I might just blend things a little bit better and add a little bit more shading here and there and make it more interesting. It's not that far from being done. There's just a lot of little details. The wind made it really hard today. Alright, this one's finished. That was really fun and interesting. I tell you, the more I play with oil pastels, the more I find them really, really intriguing. So the Saguaro, I had a lot of fun with the Saguaro. So I used this palette knife I have, which is like... So they started selling these at Jerry's Artarama not long ago at like my local store. And this one was like almost completely sold out. I think I bought the last one. I don't know. And it was really funny because I went to the guy at the counter and he's like, why does everybody want these? What are they all using them for? So, and of course I thought of a whole bunch of different things that I could use them for. Like I was like, ooh, I can make spines with this and all sorts of stuff. But today I was using it to scratch out the lines in the Saguaro. And it worked very nicely for that. So there you go. Yeah. I really like this tone gray paper. This really worked really well. And actually, like, it adhered really well to the paper. Like, I didn't have any problem. I thought because there wasn't, like, a huge amount of tooth in this paper that I might have some kind of issue with getting, like, multiple layers to stick. But no, it seems to be working just fine, honestly. So, yeah, I have a whole lot of this paper in different colors. So I might be playing with this quite a bit more. Really liked those clouds. Man, they were just the coolest clouds out there today. I also like, I think this looks a little bit like a rattlesnake tail. That wasn't on purpose. That like this Saguaro really did have those like divots in it because it's kind of dying. I don't know if you could tell, but it's, you know, it's actually like starting to fall apart and it's probably going to fall over in not very long, I think. So it had all these little divots in there, but it kind of has this rattlesnake tail thing going on, and I think it's kind of cool. All right, well, tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day, so I might have to get a little bit creative. I might be drawing from my car. I might be drawing from like under a patio at a cafe or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Okay, it is a drawing from the car day, and it's mostly because I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna get rained on if I go out there. It's also like it's very windy too. There's been a lot of that going on. So it's supposed to just pour rain this afternoon. And it's supposed to even snow below 4,000 feet tonight. So I had to get out of here earlier today. And apparently we have had more rain in the last week than we have had in the last 11 months because we've been in a big long drought. So can't really complain about the rain, but it is kind of posing interesting obstacles. So I'm doing like some urban sketching here. That's my goal. I like everything back here. There's lots of colors, lots of interesting stuff. So I think I can kind of have fun with it. And I'm gonna use my Pitt pens. I haven't decided how much color I'm putting in or not. So I'm gonna think about that as I'm doing my sketching. Well, I think I had good timing because everybody in the world just showed up and parked in front of me. So I think it's a good time for me to be done. This is what I have here. I actually took those palm trees over there and just kind of moved them so that they'd be in the frame. And yeah, that was fun. I love drawing this kind of stuff, all the weird little details you have, especially like in the back of an old building. So I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna add watercolor to put the color in the shark and all that kind of stuff because the only colors I have with me are all really bold ones. So this was a fun one for sure though. So you might be able to hear it out there. We are getting a huge storm. Like it's like a monsoon style storm and it's March, so that's kind of weird. I mean, it was just dumping rain, thunder, everything. It was a gully washer. It was crazy. So didn't expect that today. I thought we were just gonna get some nice rain, no big deal. Nope, it was crazy. So I'm gonna go get my watercolors and I'm just gonna paint all the color in on this one because I think that was like half the fun of this scene, honestly, was all the color. And I didn't have, like, this shark is like teal and coral and all these colors that I definitely didn't have in my pens. So I'm gonna do watercolor, and it was kind of faded too. So I'm gonna go find my watercolors and get that started. All right, this one is done. I've been cracking up because it feels very like Bob's Burgers. Didn't do that on purpose, but it kind of ended up looking that way. Probably because they always have like some footage of like an alley. So, and that's basically what this is. I have no idea why the building has a shark on it. And in real life, the shark is like faded, like that mural's been there for a while. It was probably had much brighter colors. And on this day, today, it was like so cloudy that there just weren't really any shadows cast anywhere, which is why it just kind of looks flat. Yeah, that was like fun to draw though. Those bricks kind of took a while, but I think they kind of add a lot. So, yep, tomorrow should be interesting because it might just be very wet everywhere. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, it is another gray, rainy day. It has been like this all day. I've been like waiting for a break in this and it just hasn't happened. So I'm in a park that's pretty far east. It's over by the Superstitions, so you can see them through the window. It's funny, when you're driving out here, you have this great view of the Superstitions the entire way, but the second you pull off that main highway, your view gets obstructed by just like everything. So I was pretty excited to find this little spot. Oh, those birds are cool. I'm just gonna draw from my car. I mean, I could try to go one of those picnic benches, but honestly, it's like wet, it's really cold, it's windy. And I honestly have like a perfect view from right here, so I think I'm gonna stay right here. This bird is so funny. It keeps like landing on my car and hanging out. Like, it's just like, hey, what's up? This is hilarious. All right, I'm done with that. So you can see that it got way darker over there. So this is how this ended up. It's not bad. I like it. I think it's fun. Yeah. So I bought a new green because all the greens I have are just not, like I have like this really bright green, which is great for like lighter stuff. And I have like this kind of this undersea green, which is great for a lot of the desert greens out here. But I don't have like a mid-tone green. It's just like a regular green. And there have been a few places, like for instance, in that grass over there, that it would have been sure nice to have that. But that's okay. I still think it looks cool. That's just a thing I'm thinking about. I really liked these basketball hoops, especially. Those are cool. All right, so when I was out there, I didn't get to talk much about what I was using. So I was using the watercolor block from New York Central, and this is hot press, 140 pound. And I liked how it turned out. You know, I usually just use hot press for like line and wash kind of stuff, but this looked pretty nice actually. And then I was using my Daniel Smith colors. So yeah, as I was saying, I got another green that will be here hopefully next week. And the thing is like, yeah, I can definitely mix my own green that would work with this, but the main problem is that you just don't have a lot of time while you're out there. You know, you've got like this light that's there that you're just racing the entire time. Like actually, you probably noticed that in all of the pictures and the videos I got, you couldn't even see this highlight at the base of the mountain here. That was around for like 10 minutes maybe while I was painting, and so I just went ahead and painted it in really quickly. So yeah, you just have to be able to move fast, and so sitting around mixing colors is not very helpful. But yeah, I'm noticing too, you know, I still could have been even bolder with some of the colors in here. Some of them still faded more than I would have liked. But I do really like, this is, so this purple is the Carbazole Violet. And then I also mixed in a little bit of the phthalo blue green shade, just a tiny bit of it to kind of give it that more bluish tone that you tend to see there. So I think that is, I really like that color. That's from like, they have this secondary set that has that Carbazole Violet, quinacridone burnt orange, and undersea green, and I feel like all of those are just like perfect desert colors. I love them. So yeah, but I did almost all of this without any pencil sketch whatsoever. I did like a little bit of a pencil sketch just on the basketball hoops, and I drew the line for where the court was because it was just hard to do all the rest of this without at least having some guideline of where those were going to be. And then actually, I think there might still be some pencil line in there, so I'm going to go ahead and erase that out. I actually like didn't bring my eraser, so I couldn't fix that while I was sitting there. So I might brighten up just slightly once I do that. Yeah, that actually did help a little bit. So tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. It is going to depend on the weather. And I might just bring a few different supplies along to see what speaks to me at the time.